On the 29th of May 2025, torrential floods swept through Mokwa community in Niger State. More than 200 people were killed, and many more, including children and the elderly, were trapped under the debris of their homes. The flood caused injuries and displacement. As the powerful waters surged, it left in its wake the daunting task of rebuilding. Nigeria's federal government attributed the tragedy to heavy rainfall and the overflow of the Dingy River.
There is a railway that passes between River Dingy and Mokwa town. The railway serves as a barrier, and when the excess water becomes enormous, then it overflows the railway that causes that flooding.
However, these explanations raised concerns among locals. Some pointed to Ubigi, a community to the north of Mokwa in Mashogo local government area, as a potential source of the flooding, while others theorized that the overflow of a dam could have triggered the floods. A few even turned to mystical interpretations to make sense of the disaster.
Ya hito inda ya ko ya biyo ya kawo nan ya ci gidaje haka yake gudu har suna guda ruwan har guda su kai abin da ke ciki suna guda kamar mutane.
In search of answers, Trust TV journeyed deep into the hinterlands, investigating the root cause of the Mokwa flood. Mokwa is a local government area in Niger State, one of the historic towns in the Nupe Kingdom. This community is a vital trade corridor connecting northern farmers with southern traders. The Niger River, which flows along Mokwa's long southern border from Lake Jeba in the west, is crucial for trade, agriculture and livelihoods. But floods have been threatening the people of Niger State, especially during the rainy season. Over the years, part of Mokwa grappled with severe gully erosion. Notably, in the Mangorori area, also known as Angwan Hausawa, where the recent flood devastated homes. Although the community had never experienced flooding of this magnitude, this incident marked a tragic first, resulting in significant loss of life.
Lalle ruwan nan da sahe suka zo zuwa ƙarfe 6:30 ruwan nan suka zo dan duk mai gidan da a cikin gida bai isa hita ba tukuna. Mu muna hitowa daga cikin gida, mu ne horkon ganin wannan istila'i da Allah aiko mana da su. Ruwa sun hito daga kwangirin jirgi suna bayan shi, mu da muke nan wurin gebe ba mu ankara ba sai da ruwa suka hayo saman titin jirgi suna gudanowa. Ƙananan da suka fara bewa su muka fara gani suna wucewa da firjin da katiwa da sauransu kayan ɗakuna. Can kamin a jima kaɗan ba a kai minti ɗaya ba sai ga manyan ruwan sun zo. Iya adadin wanda Allah ya wa rasuwa cikin wannan ruwan in ba Ubangiji babu wanda ya san shi sai dai Allah. Amma a kiyasin waɗanda aka gani nan an ruhe 170, raba an ruhe 75, ba kwacewa inda ake santi inda ake suga sun hidda 23, an hidda 22 a tungar doli. Akwai ƙauyukan da ruwa suka daga inda suka hwaro inda muka sani tun daga Yagwagwa, tungar Sani, gidan Idi, inda ya ko sai nan cikin garin Mokwa. Daga can ruwan suka hwaro suka shigo garin Mokwa. To ko da suka hwaro daga can mu ba mu da labari. Amma wasu sun ce an kira an ce ruwa na nan zuwa, amma waɗanda suka jiya ba su inganta magana ba.
One victim shared his experience of losing 16 family members. He believes buildings on waterways further exacerbated the disaster.
Asara bai cewa ya kan asaran da nayi. Saboda na rasa yara 16. Na rasa mata da ciki. Na rasa kanuwa. Yaya 14. Yayan family din mu ne. Kanina yana yaya 4 da mata guda sun wuce. Ruwan ya kaman kwana 2. Yana zaune abun shi. Amma menene kaman irin ya saba zuwa. An bai shigowa cikin gari. Dama wannan hanyar babanmu yana faɗa mana cewa wannan hanyar ruwa ne. Asalinta shekara 100 da suka wuce hanyar ruwa ne. Aje amma kullum aka zo na makaranta yana faɗi cewa wannan ruwan ba zai dawo. Tabbas wannan ruwan sai ya dawo. Amma wannan ba zata ne. Saboda gari ya waye inda da dare ne wallahi na ga maka ba za ka samu ko halitta guda ba. Ko halitta guda ba za ka samu ba. Shi wanda Allah ya tsira da shi.
Ana ta gudu a gaya mana cikin guwa ku yi gudu. Ambaliya na zuwa. Kowa ya hita kafin kowa ya hita ruwa ya abun nan. Ya round na gida. Ko yaran gama katanga muka sa muke hito da su. Nima sai na zo wanda suka yaran nan da na rasa na zo zan kwashe su sai nima ruwa ya doke ni. Ban samu na cece yaran nan kuma ba. Yaran suka bi ruwa nima na bi ruwa. Allah ya ce da rayuwa na a duniya Allah ya tsira da ni saboda ba karfin mutum bane na Allah ne. Amma gaskiya na ji zahi wannan al'amari saboda gidanmu mu ma haka 20 ba biyu gida biyu ya rushe duk kai mu ya wuce ba abinda ko cokali ban tsinto ba.
One contributing factor to the flood is the accumulation of excess water behind the colonial railway track. This railway line, which stretches across the capital city Minna, was built to facilitate agricultural exports and connect different regions of the country. However, it has been abandoned for years, and culverts intended for water flow were obstructed by community members, leading to an excessive buildup of water.
The community, Mokwa, let me say Tifimaza community under Mokwa area, some of the settlers there, they went ahead and make a kind of a blockage on those areas. So this water accumulates at the back of rail. So once we has the force from all these areas I mentioned, Ubegi, Ndayeko, Iagwagwa, all the tributaries come in together and form a force and penetrate under this rail. And since it is a valley under, what is it called, the rail, the thing begin to calm down.
With climate change impacting weather patterns, the Nigerian Meteorological Agency predicted heavy rainfall in certain parts of Nigeria in 2025 climate change predictions. However, some locals suggested that water overflow from nearby communities may have contributed, while others speculated about the role of a dam. Trust TV journeyed to the communities in search of the source of the flood waters. First stop was Ndayeko, where the flood left in its wake visible destruction. Even though no one was killed, here about 80 houses were destroyed, with 118 houses affected.
The source of this water is from a village called Tungansani. From Ndayeko community to Tungansani is about 7 to 8 kilometers. And when it comes, it has some reservoirs. When it stop there for a while, it will spend like 1 or 2 weeks. It will spend like 1 or 2 weeks. Reaching there, after 2 weeks, you won't find it anymore. It has disappeared. We people from Ndayeko believe that is the source because that is the point that it always comes from. Whenever you find it, that is the source. If you just follow it, because even after on Friday, about 7 days ago, because it happened 8 days ago on Thursday like this. So when it started, when it happened on Friday or on that Thursday evening, some of our boys traced it. When they come back, they now give us the feedback that It's from the same source.
Could the flood have been associated with the Kainji Dam or the Kaduna River?
From here to River Kaduna, you pass so many villages. Because where I'm standing now is by the roadside to Kainji, where we have River Kainji Dam. And from here, as I'm standing to Kainji, is about 98 kilometers. So then from here to River Kaduna is over 100 kilometers. So none of them is have any connection with this source.
Notably, there are no streams, rivers or dams in this area, but nearby Tungansani village might hold relevant information. On the trail, Trust TV encountered farmlands devastated by erosion and flooding. Tungansani, neighboring Sabon Garinsani, has also been affected by annual floods without government support or intervention.
Ruwa kashi biyu yake zuwa, kana ji ko? Yana hitowa nan wajen zugurma nan wajen ibigi, yana hitowa can. Yana hitowa nan gabas. Kana ji ko? Shina hitowa nan yamma sai su haɗi. Da sun ka haɗi za su biyo nan yanga nan duka har jikin gidan nan kana ganin ka shaguna nan gidajenmu na farko kenan. Ya canye mu, shi ne ya kai mafa. Tunda daga nan bakin iyaka ijiyar ka abin da ya nan ba ha ganin iyakar ruwa nan kuma haka. Amma can da su ‘yan ƙasa mutanen Mokwa sun zanina sun ce ruwan nan ya taɓa ɓanna kashe namiji guda mace guda. Zama mu nan shekara 40 sun kace da yayi wannan ɓannan. Saboda duk bakin wani babban icce ko wani ƙarfe ko wani abu da ya zo duk ya wuce da shi. Ni ma karanta na wuce min da randar ruwa tana nan ya wuce da kwanon ruwa, sannan turmi jiro duka ya wuce da su. Sannan wani gini duk ya daidai da shi bai wucewa ya kai da shi.
Many of these communities remain out of reach for media coverage and government assistance, leaving them to fend for themselves. Ubigi is located 30 kilometers away from Mokwa in the Mashogu local government area of Niger State. This community too has suffered from gully erosion, and homes were affected by the recent flood.
Cikai babu ga wele fie wuce biye ce be je fie ela mengwaina ya go ce bani umaga ya shi swana ngoya su suna mamina amma je aboci bona amma ke to biye miya aki biye miya kai so ya ca to amma tun daga nuci bona ina da faruwa yin iri ruwa to shin ne e biya Locals
emphasized that inadequate drainage and infrastructure have left their communities vulnerable. They noted that ponds left by the flood are a reminder of the destructive waters. Excessive rainfall could further push these bodies of water into existing waterways. While there are significant predictions regarding the impact of climate change in Africa, some continue to struggle with acceptance due to traditional beliefs and customs.
You see, in our metropolitan or in our society or different society of Nigeria, everybody has his own belief. And most of the natural occurrences or most of the occurrences are attributed to some of these beliefs. We look at it, we are not seeing any mystery within it. What we're just looking at it is a climate change that people are trying to grapple with, or try to come into terms with. And above all, in this part of Africa, we are still not yet in time or taking what we call climate change and its impact or its effect on the people, the environment, into serious consideration. We are still playing, joking with it. That is why sometimes if things like this happen, we attribute it mystically.
Another community impacted by the flood is Rabba, which was formerly the capital of the Nupe Kingdom, situated along the banks of the river Niger. Rabba experienced significant flooding, with some corpses tragically recovered from the area. The flood also destroyed the vital road linking Mokwa to Raba, disrupting transportation and communication.
2 people called me more than five times that I should please urgently go around River Dingi, that a flood is coming. It's already in Mokwa destroying. As at the time they were talking to me, the water was almost halfway to this place. I started my car, left my house to river side. I began to drive. Wherever I see a group or people gather more than one person, I stopped, telling the incidents and what we were expecting in the next couple of minutes. So I have to go around the village. When I go to the other village head, I have to stop, call his son, telling that this is development. Telling them that they should ask people to vacate the river immediately, because as a tradition, even at urban areas, married women washes their plates that they used in eating food yesterday, earlier in the morning. Exactly that's what happened. And we have series of people that were already in the river fetching water for farm use. So with this information now, people begin to gush out of the river. So myself, when I drove back, packed my car, entered my room, I had a severe sound. The way the water was running. And I said, as the wall broken out, wall coming to Rabat today? That was my first question. Then my son said, no. The water that I've given information I've got to Rabat, I have to go out with some of my people at home. The moment the entire village heard the sound, everybody rushed out to the river bank. In fact, we only talk little out of what I witnessed. This water coming was operating heavy trees, palm trees. As it was coming with the highest velocity, we saw a series of cars were passing. Vehicles. When I mention vehicles, including cars, lorries, and others, and also materials.
Contrary to assertions made by the Minister of Water Resources regarding the overflow of the Dingi River contributing to the flood in Mokwa, local residents maintain that this is inaccurate. They note that the Dingi River is located downstream from Mokwa, making it impossible for water to flow upstream.
River Dingi, it doesn't have a volume of water that will break any place. 4 kilometers away from Mokwa, that is where its source comes from. You understand? Its source comes from there. It's a stream, not a river. A stream that makes its own way out, just like a stream coming out from the valley. It will be springing out. That you can carry your cup and drink a water. That is how this River Dingi is. But it has formed, where it's coming out is very massive. It's more than just a stream. You understand? But it doesn't swell up or it doesn't make any flood until if you have a heavy downpour. The gully erosion in Mokwa, they are the tributaries that makes River Dingi to come up. Nothing like River Dingi fell. We don't have a dam that we dam a water in River Dingi, nothing like that.
Once you are in Mokwa, you cannot find a single stream. But downstream, along the axis, it starts forming river. About 3 kilometers away from Mokwa, if you are coming to Rabat, by the time you are inside that forest, you start seeing the stream are forming. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Before 1 kilometer, 4 kilometers before after Mokwa, it make a river. And that river stays all season. We call it River Dingi, River Dingi. And whenever there's a little heavy fall in Mokwa axis, we used to experience flood, but not of this magnitude.
The consequences of the flood has been devastating, resulting in trauma and displacement of many residents. In response, various non-governmental organizations and individuals step up to offer support. Both the federal and the state governments have declared a state of emergency regarding the incident, and are calling for prompt intervention.
With respect to the drainages in Mokwa town, the President has equally directed Ministers of Environment and the Minister of State Agriculture for an immediate intervention on the drainages in Mokwa town. Again, on the relocation and reconstruction of homes for the affected victims, the President has authorized the immediate release of 2 billion naira to immediately commence the construction of homes destroyed by the innocent. On the issue of the electric transformer mentioned by Guerrilla, incidentally, I'm the chairman of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company. Immediately I will get back to Abuja, inshallah, I will authorize MD of Niger Delta Power Holding Company to make arrangements for NBA transformer for Mokwa.
Certainly this kind of situation is very traumatic, and we came with a package of interventions which we call integrated services. We have people undergoing psychosocial support, and it's going to take a number of weeks to finish implementation. We're also looking out for children who have lost their parents and give them the special care that they require to enable them recover and move on with their lives. We're also looking at there are also adults that have been traumatic. We've seen a few women that have not been able to talk since the past 3 days. So those are people that need special care, and those will be handed, as they need demands.
Despite these efforts, some affected individuals report that they have yet to receive assistance from the government.
To tallafin da muke ci nan unguwa ba na gwamnati bane. Masu dai sadaka, masu taimako. Su ne muke ci. Na gwamnati kwaran da wannan sarki ya zo nan gari an kawo shi da katifa da shinkafan da taliyan da mai, wallahi motar da ya zuba shi a kasa, motar nan ne ya kwashe shi ranan nan da sarki suka wuce aka wuce da shi. Ina suke tun ranan nan an ka raba shi, ranan nan zai rabu, za a raba ma kwa ranan nan. Ba sai an kwashe shi ba su yi rabo wurin ba. Ka gaya min malam, tun lokacin da abun ya faru yana da kwana 9 yau, so da aka taba raba shinkafan gwamnati saboda buhun shi akwai babbanci fiye da na talafin masu kuɗi.
Ba a bani gado ba, ba a bani shinkafa ba. Na zo har wurin na yi zama, an tambaye ni matan nan mai rubutawa da tijuwa mai malhon nan guda a kai. Ta rubuta, na huda, ta tambaye ni mene sunana, na ce mata Fatima Liman, na gaya mata, ta rubuta. Na sha rana Allah bai sa kira ya zo gare ni ba, har na gaji. Ya ce to bari in koma gida. Na dawo nan na zauna.
In response to these concerns, the Niger State Emergency Management Agency emphasized the importance of properly profiling victims and assured that there are resources available for distribution.
We have a problem from the beginning. When the incident happened, NEMA brought food attempts, including the state government, brought food attempts. But there's what we call flag off. They did what we flag off. The officials will come and they will sample them as a flag off with victim, indicating that it has been done. But when we attempt to divide them in that speech, we are not having the numbers of people actually victims. So when we came to realize that because of the situation of Nigeria, you know what is on the land. Everybody, those that are affected and those that are affected, we are trooped into that same environment to come. And at the end of the day, if not for the fact that we have to go back, keep those systems back, and then go back for real profiling and assessment to get who are those really people, using the location of the houses to get them. What we'll be hearing will be different. They will have been hearing that we have diverted those materials and given to our people. So what we did, those things were just normal. Say, if the vice president brought relief assistance, he cannot say and divide to everybody. It has to be symbolic. You select 5 or 10 people and you hand over to them. That is a blessing. He has already put his blessing. It's normal everywhere. You bless it, give it to them, give them word of encouragement, give to some sample of people, about 5 or so. The rest one will remain those that are in the field, the implementers, those are like SEMA, NEMA, IOM, Red Cross, that will divide this thing to the real beneficiaries. So that was why they told you that they were not giving anything that time. But we have, see, in Mokwa now, there is no warehouse in Mokwa now that will catch up, that will listen. In fact, we are looking for a place nearby that will be storing things, including the local government owned, the state government, and the private people. Everywhere is flooded with relief materials because of donations coming from different places, different angle. And as I tell you, as I speak to you yesterday, when the vice president came, he made a donation of 20 trucks of assorted grains. They are on their way. The state governor made a donation of 50 trucks of assorted grains. They have not come. You get what I'm saying? And even today, another United Nations organization brought something. More than 6 people have contacted me since yesterday to date that they want to make donations to of relief materials to that place. You understand? So it is my belief that the issue of food will never be their problem.
Trust TV's investigation found that while climate change contributes to increased rainfall, the flooding in Mokwa could have been proactively prevented. Poor drainage systems, particularly in upstream communities such as Ubigi, Tingansani and Ndaiko, have worsened the situation. Without proper drainage, water accumulates and flows downstream, increasing pressure on low-lying communities like Mokwa and Raba. This situation is compounded by insufficient urban planning.
But our governor has directed that the camp, he doesn't believe in people staying in the camp because dependency will set in. And when dependency sets in, people will not go back to their house again, including finding a way to go and help themselves because they have access to free meal. Yeah, the federal government is already, the land has already been a market for their resettlement with the 2 billion the federal government is bringing, and also the surveying and every other thing is being done. Before the end of this week, or at worst tomorrow, the letter of CFO will be given to the allocation, and CFO will be given to federal government for them to start implementing. He has also directed the reconstruction of Mokwa Raba Road with Fat Bridge with to the tune of 7 billion naira. So the reconstruction of that road to Raba, 7 billion naira. With the 1 billion naira with the associated grains.
Billions of naira have been donated to Niger State to tackle the flood. Development expert opines that budgetary allocation for development of modern drainage systems in Mokwa and other upstream communities will be well served for the people. This is in addition to proper urban planning and enforcement of environmental laws that include prohibition of construction on waterways. Without these critical investments and actions, similar disasters may reoccur in the future.